Father Greg, you have been an inspiration to all of us throughout our time here. Your homilies always find a way to connect to us personally and always keep us engaged. You use your love of sports to connect present-day life to what Jesus would have done. You have taught us all not only to be a better Christian, but also a better person. I want to thank you personally for always putting a smile on our faces and making our days better.
Miss Susie, although I haven't seen you much this year, I still enjoy the times I get to see you at Mass and you wave to me or come up and say hi. Even when we were all messing around or just having fun during choir, you always seem to be in a good mood. I love how that in any situation you know how to stay positive. From joining kids choir to going to the bigger choir and even doing a stations play, I always had fun because you were there. I love how you always have such fun hair and your outfits are always just as amazing. You seem to brighten up everybody's day. It's really fun when me and Maggie would talk to you after choir practice, and I'm always so happy to talk to you. Just restart.
Dear Nurse Kathy, although I may not have gotten to see you at all this year, I always enjoyed finding a reason just to come up to your office and talk. We would talk about a bunch of random things, and eventually you would send me back to class. I always loved how you asked if I was actually coming to see you for something. Even if the answer was yes, we would still talk for a while. You always listened, and I would always update you on any doctor's appointments that I had, so you were always in the loop. Thank you for everything you do for our school. You deal with things as simple as a cut to things as big as concussions or broken bones. Whoever comes in your office, you always calm them down and try to figure out what happened so you can help them better. You always stay calm even if there are a lot of people in your office. I will miss you. From Catherine.
Mr. Rojas, ever since you first came to St. Elizabeth, you've always been one of my favorite teachers. We have had so many Spanish teachers over the course of my time at St. Elizabeth, and you are a standout. From watching the X-Files to playing trivia games, Spanish class has always been such a blast. Some of my best memories are from your class. You have endured our class for 3 years now, and that is something to be proud of. You are the best Spanish teacher I've had in my 11 years at this school. Even though I always joke around with you and give you a hard time, you never lose your cool. You always have a big smile on your face, and you always greet me with a kind gesture when I see you in the hallways. I will use the things you have taught me in your class for the rest of my life. Thank you for all the great memories, Mr. Rojas. I will never forget you.
Miss Naggart, I've loved having you as my art teacher. This year has been different for me because I haven't been able to come to all of the classes. I appreciate how you always have a project ready for me to work on, even if it isn't what other people are working on. I appreciate how you allow everyone to express their creativity by not making us color projects in certain color or do anything an exact certain way. You always push people to try their hardest, which has a positive effect on everyone by helping people realize that it isn't as hard as it seems and that they can do it. Thank you for everything you have done for us and what you have taught us. Sincerely, Michaela.
When I think back on our 2 years of you teaching me, I am made more grateful even now. Over the past 2 years, you have put up with me and my persisting questions that I have every day. You handle every problem we present to you with grace and wisdom. As a student, I have learned many different important lessons in math and in life from you. With all the difficulties we faced as a class with COVID, you have been one of our many guiding lights. Back when school was just starting up this year and even you didn't know how to handle everything, you helped us figure things out. You even found new ways to entertain us while following our new rules. Some examples being the stickers we got on our name tags, skunk, and draw free, and many others. Through all our difficulties we faced in math and in life, you have been there for us. I am excited for the upcoming grades that get to have you as their teacher, and I wish you the best of luck with the rest of your teaching career. I hope to see your name as Best Rapper in the future. Wishing you all the best, Kira Smith.
This is Randolph. Whenever we would walk into your room, we were always excited. Your class was always lively with us doing some exciting activities or experiment. Even though we can't go to the science lab this year, you still make science class interesting. You're very creative and flexible. You made goofy rhymes to help us memorize important things about what subject we are learning about. You're an inspiring role model that a lot of people look up to. Thank you.
Miss Scanlon, not only do I know you as an awesome teacher, but you are also one of my close friends. Every day I came to school and saw you in the classroom, you would always greet me with a, "Hey y'all." You would always have a smile on your face, with a kind and positive attitude all the time, except for when we acted our age. Anyways, you would express that positivity through your sense of humor. You would always make learning fun and push me to work hard. You're also a hard worker because not only are you a teacher, but you were also my tutor, and I did not know what I was getting into. Miss Scanlon, you were very helpful when it came to class in troubling situations, as well as inspiring to many classmates. Overall, Miss Scanlon, you are a great teacher, and I liked you and your class a lot. If I was given the chance to go back to second grade for one day, I would gladly take it.
Miss Swen, you are a kind and caring teacher. You do everything you can to make sure all of your students succeed. You strive to make all of your students better readers. You make your students more confident by making them believe in themselves. You've also been a great advocate against bullying, and you do fun and interesting science experiments with your students. Some adjectives given by your students about you were funny, smart, caring, strict, fun, and a good listener. Thank you, Ms. Wynn, for everything you do for all of your students, especially what you have done for my brother and sister.
Miss Martin, I know I don't know you very well, but what I've seen, you are a great teacher. You are always so nice to me and everyone at Safety Patrol, and everyone always says she's so nice. Every day when I come into Safety Patrol, I see how much you love your kids. You are a fun teacher, and I always get jealous of your class when I see them walking downstairs with a cupcake, candy, or a fun craft they make in class. I can just tell you are a creative person by the stuff your students have at the end of the day. I always ask them, "You got this?" or "You gotta make this?" Your students always talk about how fun of a teacher you are and how nice you are to them when I am waiting for their car. I always see a smile on your face, and you are so calm even though you have a class full of kindergartners. Senior class makes me miss kindergarten and all the fun projects and holiday traditions that I did. I can just tell by the 20 minutes I spent at Safety Patrol of how great and amazing of a person you are. Overall, I see how wonderful of a teacher you are, and I'm happy I get to do Safety Patrol up by your room and thankful for how nice you have been to me. Thanks, Hannah.
Mrs. Taylor, although I never had you as a teacher, you taught our old little buddies, and from what I've seen, I wished I had. Just from the short time we spent in your classroom, I could tell you were an awesome teacher. You were always so nice to the kids, helping them whenever they needed it and constantly making them laugh. But you were also good at keeping them calm and from getting too wild. They all seemed to love you and love being in your classroom. Your classroom was always so cute, and walking into it was very welcoming. You always had a smile on your face, and so did the kids. There never seemed to be a dull moment in your classroom. Your class is always out when we are for math breaks, and the kids always seem to be having the time of their lives, running around and laughing and smiling and playing fun games together. You're an amazing role model for not only your students, but others around the school. I just know that as the years go on, every class you have will love you and have so much fun in your classroom. Even though I've never had you as my teacher or that I don't see you often, I can tell that you light up the room just by being in it, and everyone with you is always smiling. From Alexa.
Dear Miss Walsh, I think you were such a great teacher. I love it when you would play bird sounds when the class was working on homework. Even when I would speak out, you were so forgiving and were always so kind to me. My favorite part of the year is when we talked about the evolution of humans. I think it is so interesting. I wish everyone in the future could have you as their teacher. I also wish I could have you as a teacher again. What makes you such a great teacher is that you could deal with any type of student. No matter how quiet or crazy they were, you had them under control. You were also always so thoughtful of the other classes around us. I wish you the best. Thank you, Miss Walsh.
Mr. Van Pelt, I've never had you at my time at St. Elizabeth, but my brother did. He loves having you as a teacher and talks about what you do in class every day. One of Jake's favorite projects in your class was decomposing fruits. Jake always finds it funny when you say, "I'm just playing." Also, one of his favorite things about you is your volleyball career. He says you're funny, you have great experiments, and you give them lots of freedom in class. He told me about the one time Mr. Van Pelt went to the wrong football game and shot pictures of the wrong football team. Jake and Ian love the writing prompts and how they sometimes get to share. He told me you always talk about your dreams with John DeMarco and how he's your neighbor. He also thinks that you've helped him become more educated in science and ELA. He says you did a really good job in Teachers for Students volleyball game. We are all a little bit upset that you're leaving St. E's next year, but you made some of the best moments at St. E's. I want to thank you for making Jake's 5th and 6th grade years fun and exciting. It makes me wish I had you as a teacher at my time here. Thank you, Mr. Van Pelt, for your time at St. E's. I know everyone who had you will miss you. From Annie.
I can try to tell you what Mrs. Moreland does for all the kids at St. Elizabeth, but I don't have that much time, so I'll just tell you what she has done for me. Of all the staff at St. E, she is the one who knows me the best. She has been helping me for almost 10 years. Through all of that time, there have been a lot of issues that make learning harder for me, and she has always done everything she can to help me figure out how to work them out. She comes up with ways to help me improve my organization. She is always patient and kind and never makes me feel bad when I don't get everything done on time. I know she is always on my side, and she looks out for me. She motivates and encourages me, makes me feel more confident, and is proud of me when I succeed. I am happier when she is around because she is always smiling and can only make things better. Mrs. Moreland is very smart and cares a lot. You can tell that she loves her job, or I would have driven her crazy years ago. I have come a long way in 10 years, and she had a lot to do with it. She influenced me in ways that I could not be the same person not for her. But here's the thing. All that she has done for me, she has also done for many others, whose lives have been improved through knowing her. Mrs. Moreland has always been one of my favorite things about St. Elizabeth School, and we are so lucky to have her. I will miss her a lot.
Dear Miss Kincher, thank you so much for the work you do at STE. You always take time out of your day to spend time with us, such as the spring and fall retreats. I also really like how you were so kind and cheerful. I especially wanted to thank you for the terrific job you've done at STE. Although I haven't had the chance to talk with you, I have heard great things from students that have talked with you. I also want to thank you for judging our speech contest. Thank you so much for the work you do at STE. Grant.
Miss Brazil, I remember when I heard we were going to get a new music teacher. I really didn't know what to think. I was excited to have a new teacher, but was hoping that we didn't have to learn music theory. But you exceeded my expectations. This past year, we played more instruments than we have in years past. I've had so much fun. Even though you have only been here for a school year, it feels like you've been here forever. You're kind and patient. When you stand at the door in the morning and say hello, I feel welcome. You're flexible and creative. Every time I see you, you always seem to have a smile on your face. You never yell. I've loved that you would play a different musician each day during the different months like Black History Month and Women's History Month. You are very understanding. Thank you for coming to STEs and being my 8th grade music teacher.
Miss Nime, first of all, I want to thank you. Not everyone would be willing to come to the same classroom every day because of one student who avidly reads all day. Nor would just any teacher bring class treats because it's their birthday. You're a kind person who seems to have an endless amount of patience. Thank you for being an amazing librarian. I love you, Miss Nime.
Miss Ruff, I remember being really intimidated walking into 5th grade. Then you cracked one of your jokes and made everyone laugh and feel so much better. Your stories that you used to tell us made every class fun and interesting. I love the games that we used to play in math class between Jeopardy and the Royal Mascot game. And to top it off with the hot tamales, I think made every class complete. Thank you for finding a way to make math enjoyable and to help everyone successfully understand it. You have an impact on everyone you teach and talk to. Your stories that you would tell in the whole class in the middle of the class enlighten every student's day. Thank you for your way of impacting your students. I will never forget the valuable life lessons and all the enjoyable moments.
Miss Wance, I am so excited that I'm the one that gets to do your teacher tribute. All 3 Oldaka kids have had you, and we are so lucky. One of your gifts is appreciating creativity in students. I have always been interested in art, and you always encouraged me and appreciated my artwork, even when I drew in class. I also have a love of reading, and I remember going to you many times for book suggestions. You never steered me wrong. The testing is still one of my favorites. You have one of the best personal libraries at school. Do you remember our talks about which Disney princess was the best? I will cherish the memories of our talks about all things Disney. We also would talk about the best dance and gymnastics movies on Netflix. You have a gift for making kids feel special and loved. I know I speak for my class when I say that we will remember your energy, excitement for social studies, love of books and art. We are so blessed to have had you for a teacher, and so are the many students that will be so lucky to share your classroom. Thank you.
Dear lunch ladies, thank you for always having a smile on your face when we come to lunch. You guys are super kind to people when they're in the hot lunch line. I will always remember getting garlic toast on Extras Day and going when I get my birthday called. I always remember getting chocolate milk every day at lunch because I loved it so much. I always liked how you guys would put up Christmas ornaments and lights during the Christmas season. Thank you guys for all that you've done for the school in the years I've been here at school. From Will Campbell.
Miss K, it is as if you're like a mother figure to me. I feel like I've known you my whole life. You help and treat me in a way that is almost as if I was your son. Thank you for always being there to support me and offer help to the school. You're always so helpful to kids, especially when they're out of water. Walking in through the front door to see your smile and great sense of humor brightens people's days, and it is great to see. The Diet Cokes are also okay to see too. You are great with kids, and it shows when they're always so happy to see you. No matter how your day may be going, you're always there to help and give great advice. I do not think I ever heard you complain or put down others. I love your dedication and positive demeanor. I love you, Mom.
Miss Huber, even though I did not have you as a teacher, I always hear great things about you. You're always doing well in the volleyball games and just in general. You always have a great attitude. You always have a smile on your face. Your fashion style is always really good. All the students say that your assignments are always so fun. You are always positive and energetic. You motivate people to do their best. Your classroom looks so fun to be in, and that all of your students that have had you have loved to be in your class. You have a great decorations in your classroom. Your classroom looks like a great environment to be in. At the end of the day, I always see you and your students have a great time. You are always making sure students are taught well, but still having fun the way you teach.
Dear Miss Fritz, 4th grade was definitely one of my favorite years at St. Elizabeth. I remember loving your calm room with salt lamps and plants. I also loved all the cool games you had in the back of your room, like the ones where you had to move cars in a certain pattern and the wooden stacking one. We all still know the States and Capitals video because you taught us so well with the Tour of the States video. I remember doing checks and balances and loving to go and pick out our prizes on Fridays. Immigration simulation was also one of my favorite things I've done in 4th grade. I loved dressing up and bringing the different kinds of food from our countries. I loved the family project, and it was definitely one of my favorite projects I've done at St. Elizabeth. It was super cool to learn all about the history of my family. You have a sense of equanimity that I really admire because not a lot of people have that. You're also a very kind, classy, and organized person. You are such an amazing teacher and will definitely be missed by the St. Elizabeth community. You created so many great memories for me and my class.
Miss Aubuchon, you have always been so kind to everyone. When I got in trouble and I had to go to the office, you were always there greeting me with a smile. Even when I was misbehaving, you were still so kind-hearted and welcoming. You put others before yourself and focus on being caring to all. When times are tough, you never lose your temper. No matter what the situation is, you never seem to get angry or mad. You always know how to cheer others up. When I leave the school, I will always remember you as one of the most kind-hearted people I have ever met. Thank you so much for always putting up with me throughout the years. I will miss you.
Miss Dennis, thank you for all your hard work for the school. Your work goes underappreciated, but deserves much more credit. You always work very hard to support this school and its students. If you did not work here, without your hard work as our administrative assistant, I'm not sure the school would even be able to function. In the future, when I think of St. Elizabeth, I will think of Miss Dennis because of your long dedication to this school. When you retire in 5 years, you will be greatly missed. Thank you, Miss Dennis.
Miss Brooks, it has been a long time since I was in your class, but I remember loving every minute of it. You made learning fun, and I didn't even realize that I was learning. Your classroom always felt more like a home than a room, which made me excited to go to school. Everyone loved your class, and you didn't make decisions for us, but guided us to make the right choice. You care for your students so much and push them to do great every day. Thanks to being in your classroom, I became more responsible for my work ethic and wanted to be in charge of my academic life. When we were having group discussions, you made sure everyone's point was heard and encouraged your students to participate. You also had such an inclusive classroom and got everyone to talk and be friendly with each other. I loved the books you read to us at the end of the day. You also didn't just give us the answers to work, but sat down with your students and helped explain it to us so that we would understand it. If your students ever got sad, you would comfort and try to cheer them up so that the rest of their day would be great. I loved inner recess in your classroom. You let us play hide and seek, and to this day my classmates and I still talk about some of those games that we played because they were so fun. I could also never forget our class elf, Candy Cane Eddie. I also loved all the projects we did in 3rd grade and in your class. They were so fun and helped us learn more about the topic. Everyone loved your class, and you are truly one of my favorite teachers at St. Elizabeth's.
Mrs. Draghi, even though I never got to have you as a teacher, I know some things about you and what a great teacher you are. You always give your students treats in class, you're never strict, and you let your kids eat lunch for a long time. You're always nice and have a great attitude during the day. You always have a smile on your face and let everyone do fun projects. I wanted to thank you for what you're doing and helping make everyone's day better.
Miss Latenzer, I love how you are the best PER teacher that we've had yet. This is because you listen to our comments and suggestions on what we should do next class. I also love that you always get to the point and try to let us have as much freedom as we can during COVID. You are always looking for new ways that we can have PE class during our final stay here.
Dear Mr. Flood, I and the rest of the 8th grade will miss having religion class with you. You always manage to tie in Bible knowledge with life stories and keep class interesting. I learned a lot of life skills just by sitting in your class. You always made us sit there and think about it. I think I speak for everyone in the school when I say that you are one of the most outgoing people we have ever met. You never shy away from anyone and are always open and friendly. I will miss seeing you every day and listening to your great music. Max.
Mr. Green, you have always been like a father to me. You are a very good teacher that prepares everyone well for high school, but that's not what I'll miss. I'll miss everything you say in class. Grace, tuck in your shirt. Audrey, tuck in your shirt. Benjamin, why do you have earbuds? Sam, just sit down. Just act normal. If you have your Chromebook open, you are crazy. Take everything off your desk. And for goodness sake, Bim, stop doing that, stop doing that, stop doing that. All of these things are Mr. Green classics. I hope he continues saying these for as long as he teaches. And are you going to send the slides?
Dear Mrs. Dayson, thank you so much for making 7th grade one of my favorite years and being one of the best teachers I've ever had. Last year you had the best classroom. It was so comfortable and welcoming. I'm so sad you didn't get your amazing classroom this year. Hopefully things will go back to normal next year. You have made me more prepared for high school than I ever thought I would be. You always make class so fun and entertaining. You have taught me how to write a proper essay and how to make the best Foursquare that will guarantee I write my essay in the best way possible. I remember when we were in 6th grade when you came up to and talked to us. I was so scared of you, but now I know that you are the best and sweetest teacher. I think I speak for everyone who has ever had you as a teacher by saying that you are more than a teacher to me. I feel like I can talk to you about anything and come to you with any of my problems. One of my favorite things we have done in your class was last year when we were reading The Hobbit. We made forts and acted like the characters in the book. 7D was probably the best homeroom I've ever had. It was so fun and entertaining. I have so many fun memories from our homeroom that made my time at St. Elizabeth so much more enjoyable. I'm so sad that we didn't get to finish our 7th grade year in person, but you helped our class so much when we had to go online. I will come visit you all the time when things go back to normal. Thank you once again for being the best teacher.
Mrs. Moore, from the moment we met you as a sub in 3rd grade, we knew you weren't messing around. Your strict attitude always pushed us to do our best and make sure we were behaving. However, even with your strict demeanor, you are always willing to help. If we are just flat out incompetent about our Chromebooks or something like that, you always give us help and advice despite the fact that you might be frustrated with us. I also always liked how passionate you are. A good example is during our passion projects, fall and spring, where you really wanted us to do our best and help us get the best grade. Thank you for all the service you've given us at the school, and we'll miss you when we go to high school.
Dear Miss Sayer, I never had you as a teacher, but I heard a lot of good things about you from my little sister, Mary. You were her student teacher for the first semester when she was in Miss O'Sullivan's class. Since you were there, you were able to help the online learners with their assignments since they couldn't always hear, so sometimes they were lost. You took on the job of teaching a whole first grade class by yourself when one of the teachers switched grades. You are always smiling and willing to help any student. From Catherine.
Hey, it's Baby Babe. It is a very large challenge to say everything that I would like in such a short amount of time, so I just want you to know that if it was allowed, I could easily write a whole book about the enjoyable time I had in your class. First off, I would like to thank you for starting my love of reading and learning. Without your fun activities in class, it would have been hard for me to know how fun learning new things and reading a good book can be. I also wanted to acknowledge the treasure box. I don't think that I will ever forget how exciting and enjoyable it was to pick out a toy, sticker, or almost any other fun item that you can think of from the box. Seriously though, I do not think that I would have had my love for learning new things, reading, or making the best out of tough situations without you. First grade was definitely one of the best years of my life, and I am certain that it would not have felt that way without you in it.
Dear Mr. Riley, I have had you as my principal for 2 years now, and you have been the best principal I've had. I think that you handled the transition to online learning very professionally. You've also let us change some of our 8th grade activities so that we can do them, like the volleyball game. You are nice and caring. When I get into trouble and have to go to the office, you're always nice and understanding. If I need things, I can go for you for help, support, and to get more ideas. You make the announcements fun by having us chant at the end. You also try to make school fun by letting people cut your hair for an event. Thank you so much for everything. I wish you the best. Thank you. Your student, Sam. Good luck.